hip pain that is caused by sitting, or if you are sitting for a long period of time and you get hip pain, so how can you manage this? Now, as mums, we are always out and about, we are on our feet, standing, running after our little ones. However, there are times when you're sitting for long periods of time in meetings, at work, or when you're traveling, when you have you have work events, or when you come home and you're sitting down with your children, playing games, feeding them, or basically or maybe after the kids have slept, you are watching Netflix or reading a book. There's a lot of sitting that we do in our everyday life. Now, that is all fine, but if you have hip pain that is caused due to this prolonged sitting, or these excessive sitting episodes, or periods of sitting actually, in your daily life, then if you have hip pain because of that, this is a video that you probably want to watch. So, we're going to talk about a few tips, and these are practical tips that you can implement starting today into your daily routine. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who are working in executive jobs or roles. I help them to manage their aches and pains that come with their motherhood journey. What does that mean? So, basically, aches and pains are like spinal, neck, and back pain, or joint pains that have started either during your pregnancy, excuse me, childbirth, or the later years when you have younger children. Now, as moms, we are always busy, and if you do not have a you have a certain routine, a schedule that you follow throughout your day, when you're at work, when you're home, etc., it is very difficult to take out a big chunk of your time to go and look for a solution for those aches and pains that I just mentioned. So, this is where I come in. I give you simple lifestyle hacks, tips, tricks, and easy exercises that you can incorporate into your existing daily routines. Now, simple stuff doesn't have to be ineffective. So, that is why I said I give you simple yet effective strategies to manage your joint and spinal, that is your neck and back pain. Anyway, so let's go back to hip pain for now. And if you have been sitting for a long period of time and you have realized that whenever you're sitting down, there's a little niggle of pain, or if there's like a sharp shooting pain coming into your hip joint, obviously you can have it checked by your medical practitioner, your doctor. But what can you do about it? So let's talk about these tips. So the very first thing is, when you are sitting, look at the level of your pelvis, that is your hip joints, and look at the level of your knees. Now, in case you don't know, pelvis is the ring of bone, basically at the junction between your legs and your torso. So, your hip joints are on the side there. So, if you look at the level of your pelvis or your hip joint, and you look at the level of your knees, the level of your pelvis should be slightly higher than the level of your knees. So, what that means is, suppose you are sitting and this is your pelvis and these are your knees. So, they should not be in a straight line on the chair, they should be slightly um, in this slight oblique tilt here. So if you have one of those adjustable chairs where you can tilt your seat forwards by say 5 degrees or so, not a very big tilt, you will get your pelvis sitting above the level of your knees. Now what this does is basically it puts your hip joints into a good uh, easy and good posture. So what that means is the stresses on those hip joints are not building up. Basically, those hip joints are relaxed in that posture. Now, what that also does is, when you're sitting with your pelvis tilted forwards a little bit because of this sloping down of your chair seat, it manages to put your lower back curve in a proper posture. So your lumbar spine is basically sitting in a good posture. So when that happens, your spine is like building blocks. So if you've ever seen your kids play with those little blocks and they stack it one on top of the other, if the foundation is shaky, the whole tower comes collapsing down. So your spine is like that. Once you've placed your lower back or your lumbar spine in a good posture, you tend to automatically put the rest of your spine into a good posture, most of the times. So what you can do is basically get that little bit of a difference, as in the little bit of a tilt in your seat, and see if that works for you. The second thing you can do is, if you've been sitting for a very long time, please get up and move. Usually I will say get up and move every 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, and I'll give you the reason why. But if that is practically not possible, then at least get up every hour or so and move around. Now, the reason for that 20 minutes window is, there have been studies done that show that if you sit for more than when you sit for more than 20 minutes, the stresses on your spine build up, and the disc in between your two vertebrae, so vertebrae that make up your spine, there are discs in between. So the disc starts to feel that pressure of the weight of the spine on it. And that is when, if you have a pre-existing spinal problem or a back problem, it tends to flare it up, or else it tends to sort of push you into that direction of a disc problem. So it's not necessary that you'll get it, but there are chances that you will get back pain from sitting that long. And this is the reason, one of the reasons why it happens. Now, what you can also do is, maybe if you have that sort of an arrangement, you can get a standing desk, an adjustable standing desk, where you can stand and also sit. So most of these standing desks have like a auto setting, where once I'm standing, and because obviously everybody's got a different height, you adjust it to a certain height, and you suppose you press like setting 1, so that's your standing desk height. And the second setting you can do is when that desk comes down and then you are sitting down. So once you have these two settings on auto, every time you want to stand up, all you have to do is press that button. You go up to that the height of the standing desk for at which you are standing and working. And after a while, maybe this is what you need to do every hour. And then after a while, you can just go back down into your sitting. So you adjust your standing and stand to sit desk, basically. Now, the last tip that I wanted to share with you to manage your hip pain is some desk based exercises. So, what that means is a couple of exercises that you can do while you're sitting at your desk. Now, these are very general stretches that you can do, starting from your neck down to your feet. I'm not going to show you the stretches on this video because otherwise it'll be too long. However, I will leave a link in the description of this video. When you go on there, it'll ask you for your email, but that's only so that I can send the video to your email. So you can have a look at the exercises in there. That involves the exercises all the way from your neck to your toes, as I said. But if you want to pull out specifically the ones that are for the lower part of your body, you can do those while sitting at your desk. You don't have to do you don't have to devote like a big amount of time or a long period of time to do these exercises. Usually takes about a minute or two, or maybe 3 minutes. If you want to do these exercises, you can like sort of break them up, do the neck ones one in the first hour, do the lower body ones in the second hour, do the spinal ones in the third hour. So see how it works for you. And yeah, that was all I wanted to share with you. So I hope that was useful, and try following these simple yet effective tips. And if you have any questions or comments, do leave them in the comments below. And if you are interested in knowing more about managing your your hip pain, your spinal, that is your back and neck, and joint pain, you can have a look at my website. If you're watching me on LinkedIn, it's in the link in my bio. If you're watching me elsewhere, it is called withswati.com, so you can have a look there. However, I will leave a link in the description of this video for the desk based exercises, so have a look at that. And yeah, that's